Hey guys, this is Ricky from RT Videos, and today I'm going to be showing you how to fix your smoke unit, and in this situation, replacing the fan in an O-scale MTH smoke unit. This is going to be a step-by-step instructional video on how to fix the smoke unit. So I'm going to do the step-by-step and show you, so if you decide to do this yourself, you do not have too many problems. So this right here is the fan. I bought it from MTH on their website. I called and I ordered it. It took about a week to come in, which is not bad. And I'm going to show you how to install it. And I'm going to be installing it on the MTH Rail King L3 Mohawk with ProtoSound 2. I need a new one because the old one just simply burnt out, and I've had this locomotive for over 15 years, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. So it has, so I'm just going to be doing it today and showing you guys how to do it. So the first step, obviously, is going to be removing the shell in your locomotive. So you have to take it off, and I have a cradle here which makes it really easy for you to do so. So there are going to be about 4 to 6 screws depending on the type of locomotive that you have and the type of manufacturer the locomotive is from. But for example, this Mohawk here has 4 screws, so you just take them out and then you could pop the shell off. If you do not feel comfortable doing this yourself, you can send it to MTH and they can do it for you, but this is an easy fix and I recommend doing it yourself. After you have the 4 screws out, you want to take the cradle away and place it down, and then you could just lift it off. So now I'm going to show you how to actually do it. So the smoke unit is comprised of 2 main parts: the fan, which is right here, which I'm going to be replacing, and the heating element. It is called a fan-driven smoke unit because there is a fan that is driving the smoke. So when you insert smoke fluid into the smokestack here, that goes down into the chamber, which is filled of wick. When that wick is heated up by the heating element, it produces smoke. Then the fan pushes that smoke out of the chamber and up out of the smokestack into the air. So that's how the smoke unit works. So today I'm going to be replacing that fan. I'm going to keep the camera in this point of view right now so you get a better angle of what's going on. So here's the smokestack, here's the chamber, here's the fan, and then this is the fan more under here. So to remove the top part to expose the heating element, just simply remove these 4 screws. You want to keep these screws someplace where you are not going to lose them. They are very, very small, and they are very important because otherwise the smoke unit will not work properly. So just remove the screws. As you can see, it's getting loose, so it's harder to take out the screws. Okay. This is inside. This is the heating element, and then that heats up the wick, which is here in the chamber, and then that makes the smoke produce. So in order to remove the fan, you are going to want to take it out of here. So first you have to take out the fan blades. So you could do this a number of ways. I just simply prop it off like that, which is a lot easier to do. You want to put that aside. Now comes the hard part. You want to disassemble the fan from the fan assembly. So by doing that, you're going to want to take a very, very small screwdriver and take out these 2 screws that are in the fan assembly. So I'm just going to do just that. I'm going to take these out. It's a lot easier if you have tweezers and a whole bunch of dental picks, because you could maneuver the tools and it'll make the job go a lot faster and you won't lose some things. It's like these really tiny screws. Take it out more. Okay, now the fan assembly has been disassembled from the fan. Now, I have to take out these wires. It is imperative that you do this carefully. I am going to be taking these wires out through a soldering iron. That is the best way to do it. So, you just simply take your soldering iron and unsolder the wires. You are going to want to take notice of the different wires because there is a green wire and a gray wire. The gray wire has to be in the gray port on the new fan, because otherwise the fan is going to spin the opposite way and you will not produce smoke, and you are going to have to do this job all over again. So on the new fans, they actually tell you which the gray wire goes to and which the green wire goes to, which makes it very simple. Here's my soldering iron. So I am just going to very gently remove the wires. It may take a few tries, but you just want to very gently remove the solder, just like that. So this is another extremely hard part, and this is putting these extremely small screws back into the new fan and the assembly. So I believe that it is easiest to put them in the holes first on the fan assembly, which can be quite a challenge sometimes because these are very small, but once you get them in, you can put them through the fan. So now that that is in, let's hold this so the screw is sticking out. Grab the fan and then just screw it in. Alright, there's one. Now let's twist it so we could see the other. And we'll take the second screw, insert it into the assembly. I need a smaller screwdriver. Put it here. Now we have these very small pads that go under the fan, and then there is another small orange pad that goes under the fan, and this is just here to protect it. A little cushioning, so make sure this is under. Nothing else should be interfering with it. Just have them best you could get. You want them to be on top of each other so that they are both resting on it. It could be a little tricky to maneuver sometimes. There we go. Okay. Now it is time for the assembly to go into place. Make sure that nothing is interfering. Make sure that these pads are at the bottom and in place. So let's just make sure of that. These are very hard to maneuver sometimes, so just be aware. Okay, that is ready. These are not touching, which is good. So we are going to first put the fan blades back on. So make sure that they could spin freely, which in this case they can, which is good. And then our heating element will go right back on top, and then those other screws that we put on will go just like this. Make sure you keep those screws because That is extremely important, because these will not go back into place correctly, and then your smoke unit will not work. And that's it. That is just taking the old fan, which is right here, and putting a new fan in it. I'm now going to run this engine for you so you can see the change. Here is the smoke unit now after the repair has been made, and as you can see, it is functioning perfectly. So I'll just take this out for a second to show you what it's looking like now. Look at that baby smoke. That's looking great. Now that the repair has been done, there is still one more step that we have to do, and that is to put the shell back on the locomotive. So you want to do this extremely carefully. Be careful not to damage any of the important electrical components that are inside of the locomotive. So an easy way to know if you're putting it in right or wrong is to match up the handrails. So after the handrails have been matched up and it has gone in completely, let's see, come on, there we go. Now it's been in completely. You now want to pick it up by under the wheels, not by the shell, because there are no screws holding it together. So under the wheels, holding it like this. Let's bring our cradle back, put it carefully back upside down in the cradle, and put our 4 screws back in. When you're putting the screws back in, you want to go on the opposite end. So if there are 4 screws, you want to go on one side, then do the opposite side, and then the opposite side and the opposite side, so they are all lined up correctly. And it will go in easier that way, so you're not struggling to put one in and you might break something. Okay. Here is the locomotive, and now all the repairs have been complete, including putting the shell back on, and as you can see, it is looking just great. Smoke unit is functioning perfectly. I have not seen it operate this good in many years. I'm very glad that it is working this well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you learned something in this video and that this helps you if you are doing this repair or something similar onto one of your locomotives. Again, thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.